When you're using any of the boats, whether that be canoes or paddle boats, life jackets are always required for staff and campers. There are no exceptions to this rule. Also, life jackets are required if you see a child that does not swim very well, put them in a life jacket, or if a kid wants to go past this line between the docks to the floating dock and cannot do it well, life jackets are required. So this is the boathouse. This is where the life jackets are stored and the paddles for the canoes are stored. In the waterfront activity time, we should have life jackets down there, but if we do not have life jackets down at the waterfront, then you can come with your camper to come and get a life jacket. In the boathouse, we have the paddles, small life jackets, these are for really little guys, and then life jackets of various sizes for everybody else. Alright, so when fitting a life jacket, please put your arms through the holes just like that, and then you need to clip in all 3 clips. Sometimes the life jacket will be way too large, and that's where you come in. So once you have the life jacket fully tightened, if it overlaps way too much right in here, this is okay. Or if it comes up to his face like this life jacket is too large. So then you have to take the life jacket off and get a different life jacket. When properly fit, the life jacket should come up to about here, be decently snug, and yet still movable. To enter the paddle boat, one person should be hanging on to this handhold here. The next person just walks in and seats themselves into one of the seats. The maximum number of people in these paddle boats is 4, but unless at least 3 of those people are tiny, I do not advise putting 4 people in these, they will sink. Then the next person can also step into the paddle boat, and you are off. To propel the paddle boat forward, you're just pedaling it like a bicycle. To steer the paddle boat, there is a handhold in the middle of the boat which will turn this rudder in the back. So when taking a canoe off, you should have 2 people, never do this alone. Pick it up from both sides and you're going to flip it over. On all of the canoes that we have some sort of handle or a little rim that you can grab onto. And then you carry, do not drag, that breaks the bottom of the canoes. You carry the canoe over to the waterfront. Right about there is good, and then you set it in. Now to load up the canoe, the easiest way to do it is to put it next to a dock. So you have one person over here that is holding the canoe, and the next person can put one foot after another, nice and gently, and sit down in the seat. Then this person would walk in the water, and after it is floating, you don't have to, after it is floating, they would also step in and you'd be on your way. To propel the canoe forward, each person paddles forward on alternate sides. To brake the canoe, each person puts their paddle in the water and the canoe will stop. To turn the canoe, each person will paddle in the opposite direction. One paddling forward, the other one paddling backward. Keep in mind that when you are paddling, you are almost always going to be paddling on different sides of the boat. Rule number 1 with waterfront is always, always, always listen to the lifeguard, aka the one with the whistle. If you don't remember any of the other rules that we do in these videos, and remember that one, you're doing okay, because the lifeguard knows and he should tell you. That being said, the other rule for the docks is never run on them. That is a great way to trip and fall.
Look!
So,
Slide.
walk please. Can you come back and try again?
I guess.
Thank you. Now you may turn around and walk to the slide. When the waterfront activity time begins, nobody is allowed in the water or on the docks until the lifeguard is present and this sign has flipped from closed to open. That is wrong. Incorrect. When it comes to appropriate swim attire for staff, For females, if you have a two-piece suit, always wear a t-shirt. If you have a one-piece suit, that's fine as is. For the guys, baggy swim trunks are what we ask for, and you're allowed to not wear a shirt, but only in the swim area. You're not allowed to go shirtless through the rest of the camp. When it comes to the slide, there are a few rules. The first rule being only one person is allowed on the platform or out on the ladder at a time. The other thing that you need to be sure of every time is making sure that there is nobody in the sliding area so that when she comes down, she will not hit anybody. Jumping off the docks is permitted, but you are not allowed to dive, belly flop, or do any flips. This is all wrong. Some general rules apply to counselors or staff in the water. The first rule is never allow a kid to wrap their arms around your neck. This can be a potential choking hazard, even if they're not that strong. If a kid does want to piggyback, that is okay, but they need to just put their hands on your shoulders like so. The other rule that applies to counselors and staff in the water is there is no dunking, there is no throwing, or any other physical chucking.